Hello, welcome back to Unravelled, from 80s icons to an icon right here, Lizzie.
Hey, Stuart, you're so kind. Thank
Good to see
you.
you. We're back. Well, what a first week and what a first episode. Blown away by everyone's response, weren't you?
Yeah. Amazing. It's so lovely to get everyone's comments streaming in, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Now, as we all know, there was a vast amount of comments across social media, probably more verging to the negative side. But here in our little corner, most viewers were, I think, on the whole, positive, enjoying it, with a fair few points of criticism, which we raised as well, but mostly they were all excited for seeing
Yeah.
knitting, crochet, and yarn on mainstream terrestrial telly. And that's, I think, something that we are going to champion for the rest of the series for sure, aren't we?
I think so. I think we've had a lot of chat in the shop as well this week about it. And um, this show isn't for everyone. And if you're a really, I think we are just enjoying it, aren't we, Stuart?
Yeah,
Just it's celebrating knitting in all its fashions. It's just a really nice, fun thing. I think, and as we've watched episode two as well, it's just a lot of fun. And if we
yeah,
can kind of get past any knitting snobbery, maybe that's a
absolutely.
bit of a harsh word, but
It's no, it's true. It's definitely true.
yeah, I just feel quite protective over our positive little corner of
Yeah,
the knitting internet, and we just want everyone to be able to have a nice time, don't we? And
yeah.
and we're enjoying it, and
Ab-
thank
in,
you for all our
I
commenters who,
know.
yes, gets a bit of juicy chat going, and there's some
It
great
does.
ideas in those comments,
Shall
but
we? Shall
really
we?
pleased that
Shall we take a look at some of them?
yeah, let's go. I could chat on for hours, you know me. Just shut me up.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Let's go for it. Some of them are a bit small. I've got to try and work out a better way of getting them all on. But we're going. We uh, worldwide. We have Kiwi James from New Zealand. He says, "Great
Oh
first
yes.
episode of Unravelled." And I thought the first episode of Game of Wool was great too. Holger's colour choices for the vest were inspired by a chicken he had knitted, but the motif came from a Christmas bauble he had knitted. Sad to see Gordon go first, roll on week two. And that's the thing, the edit is so quick. Some of the stuff has been cut out. And if you follow the knitters on Instagram, they are giving a lot more inside information. So if you do want to find out more about Holger's vest and the design and in how it was inspired by these baubles, you can find a special post by it. And I think that's lovely because you'll be able to give us some information on this, Lizzie. During the sewing bee, it
Yeah.
almost feels like the knitters are on social media clampdown. There's very little. It seems like that. I may be wrong. Whereas because we're on commercial telly, it seems completely the opposite. The knitters are talking. They've been primed with screenshots for each week. It seems a lot more is able to come out from the knitters on Instagram. What would you say about that, Lizzie?
I think I'm getting that impression. I'm also, I think we on the B were definitely in a kind of lockdown, and we were told, don't go near social media. Some of that's for our own protection because it can be quite vicious out there.
Yeah.
And I know some of the contestants got some real nastiness, but
Mm.
so they do tell you to stay away from it for your own protection, but also just to be really careful to not be putting any spoilers. But certainly once the show's going, and because they've got all those lovely graphics, garment of the week or whatever, um, and it's nice for us to be able to share those things as
Yeah.
well, and it just promotes the show, which is what we all want. So
Well, hopefully, from posts like what Holger's done, it gets people into it more, doesn't it? And they'll go, oh, right. And they've seen the post about these baubles. They go find that bauble pattern, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Someone's doing baubles.
talking of baubles,
Okay.
um, and this is a bit of a link to lovely Gordon. Thank you so much, Gordon, for
Yes.
if you haven't discovered Gordon's he's only done two videos, but he's already a overnight hit. Gordon, we love you.
Yeah,
I really enjoy the way Gordon chats. He's so knowledgeable, and I've learnt loads about Fair Isle and Shetland and yarn and designers just from Gordon's chat. And he's really positive about the show and his own experience of it. And I'm really grateful that Gordon's just jumped straight on it. We've got this lovely, gentle explanation of what
absolutely.
happened and technique. It's brilliant to learn more about the actual authentic technique. And also one really cool thing, because I know there's been quite a bit of heat this week about the Fair Isle and Shetland,
Yeah, it was kind of the
travesty,
treatment of
the
how Game
treatment.
of
But
Wool
Gordon,
squeezed it into a 30-second
yeah,
segment and so forth, which I
but
can
Gordon, but
understand,
Gordon,
but there is limited time, isn't there?
and yeah, and but Gordon was very clear in stipulating, sort of reiterating what the brief was for this, and it was a reimagining of the Fair Isle approach.
Yeah.
And so he was very clear about that, and he talks in some detail through the reason that he chose the design he did, so it's really good. So I would urge people, if you want a little bit more encouragement about that first episode, go and check
Absolutely.
in with Gordon's YouTube. It's just
It's
lovely. Thank you, Gordon.
we'll put the link in the description below. But we all love a knitting podcast, don't we? And having Gordon's dulcet tones in the background while the fire is on and you're knitting, that podcast is going to be great, isn't it, for the future?
Well, I tell you what, it made doing my admin and accounts a bit more cozy this morning. I had Gordon just chatting away in my ear while I was adding up my
Oh, brilliant.
receipts.
Right, let's have a look at another message. This is from Sue. Sue says, felt a bit rushed, which is ironic considering the time it takes to knit a garment. The judges didn't really explain much in the judging. It was hard to see the end product, and there was little insight for the non-knitter or novice knitter to use. Having said that, I shall avidly be watching the next programme. Such talent from the off. Great vlog, Stuart and Lizzie. Thought you dissected it well. Now, if you can teach me how to do more than the rows of pearl and plain and simple round neck garments, I'd be delighted. Thanks for
Yeah,
doing the show. Isn't that nice?
lovely, Sue. Thank you for that, Sue. Yeah, I think we would all love a bit more insight, but that's where YouTube and the internet is a great
Yeah.
resource, isn't it? And with people like Gordon there to give us that expert background on everything. But yeah, I think we'd all like to see a bit more of the technique and expertise, but and
Well,
I think that's where the editing is against
indeed.
us a bit, because they've got so little time. And I know for a fact those judges will probably spend a good 20 minutes with each person, and the feedback and the enjoyment they'll get over the creations they've made. I think that's what we as viewers miss out on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And let's go to two more. We're going over to US and Australia. This is where it just blows my mind. This is Kathleen from the US. I was watching Game of Thrones. Oh no, Game of Thrones. I was watching Game of Wool from the US yesterday, and also awaiting your Unravelled show today. I kept refreshing your channel page, Stuart, so I could watch as soon as possible. I have never been a
Thank you.
fan of these kind of shows, but I was waiting for this one since I saw the audition announcement last year, and I was afraid I'd be put off by the format, but I was pleasantly surprised to find myself enchanted and charmed by the whole thing. What a lovely way of putting it.
Really, really nice. Yeah, that's so nice. So lovely, isn't it? Bridging across that
Yeah,
old Atlantic.
I know. And then here we go over to Australia. I'm too old for VPN technology, so I'm relying on your Unravel. Watching from Melbourne, Australia. Thank you for doing this. Love it. My 5 cent worth of input. If they'd wanted to be wowed with the couch, maybe a chair would have been more doable in the wow department.
Very
Completely
good
agree.
point. Wow, Tom. Yeah, that's a very good point. Sofa's quite a tall order.
Isn't it just? Now, we did say we were going to give away some prizes each week. Those of you know I've got a wool shop. Like Lizzie works in a wool shop too. What's the name? Give us a shout out to your wool shop,
No
Lizzie.
frill. It's No Frills Knitting in Bristol.
And my shop, the Wool Patch in Long Melford, Suffolk. And one of the companies I've worked with since I started, which is now 10 years ago, is Katia, a wonderful Spanish company. And they've always been so supportive of little yarn shops. They don't sell big to online companies. They sell to bricks and mortar online only, which is great. And I wrote to them and approached them and said, do you want to get involved with our vlog so we can perhaps welcome new viewers and treat them, or even viewers that just watch us, treat them with some knitting stuff? Well, we've got prizes galore. And I filled one of their tote bags full of goodies. I think we've got some stitch markers in there, some stitch stoppers, some crochet hooks, and because it was chunky last week, which we're all recovering from with those big needles. Have you got some big needles there, I think, haven't you? Show us your big needles.
Yeah, I have, but this is no. I've got this enormous thing, but it's not. I've got some yarn that goes with it as well, but I can't find it at the moment. But I bought these
Well,
especially.
We've got a pack.
Oh my word.
Pack of super chunky. This is Love Wool. It's 100% natural. It's virgin wool and alpaca, and it's super chunky. Someone's going to be able to make a garment out of that. Now,
Someone's going to be able to make themselves a seat cover.
Absolutely. I can only ship this out to UK though. So if you win and you're in Australia or New Zealand or America, I will treat you to a online digital pattern from Ravelry. So shall we go to our random picker and pick a prize? So this is our random generator. I've told it to take all the comments from our last week's video and to only have one user rather than, because many people have written many times. I've excluded me and you, Lizzie, so we can't win.
Good, well done.
And here we go. I've just got to put this sum in to tell it. 5 + 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Viewers, as you might be able to tell, Stuart loves his technology.
Yeah, here we go, everyone.
Very good at it. I just turn up and chat.
Look on the left-hand side there. Who is going to win? We're going to see right now.
Hold your breath.
Well, there we go. Who was that? Mem Yi-Fi. And the comment was, thank you both for such a lovely positive show. There's been two. Oh, that's even. Look, this is just. You think this is rigged, but it's not. There's been too many negative comments on social media about Game of Wool. I think we need to celebrate knitting on the telly. Well, there we go. It's yours.
Oh, that sums it up beautifully. Thank you very much for that comment.
Winging goodie bag. If you're in the UK, winging its way to you. You can drop me a message and let me know, or reply to a message. My email is everywhere. It's info@thewoolpatch.com. Let us know and I'll send it to you if you're in the UK. If not, I'll treat you to a digital pattern. Right.
And that comment just kind of sums it up,
doesn't
it?
Doesn't
really?
it?
Lovely.
Let's move on. But before we move on to the rounds, did you spot these amazing slippers this week? Look.
Slippers?
Yeah.
Oh, show me.
Oh, Stephanie's slippers. Look at them.
There's no place like home.
How comfy is she there? It's brilliant.
It's Stephanie, isn't it?
I love her.
Magic. Well done, Stephanie. Got the right idea.
I saw that, and then Ting messaged me too, and it's like slippers that they just keep coming back. But we're not throwing slippers. I might throw a ball of wool or two, but no, it's quite different here. But when I saw those, I was like, oh, I do love her, and I'm rapidly becoming someone who I want to win now, Stephanie. I don't know whether you've got.
She's in your...
Yeah.
She's in your... Is the slippers? The slippers have won your heart?
I think so. I think so. Right. Let's go to our class of 2025. We've sadly lost Gordon, so let's cover him up there. There's Gordon. Our remaining contestants as we go into 80s week. Or icon.
And aren't they all still gorgeous?
Week. Aren't they just? Absolutely. Yeah. So shall we go to the first round?
Yes, please.
The Dog Apparel Challenge.
Just made me laugh. The laugh off the bat last night. It was just sheer joy.
Indeed. And what a great idea for a knitting challenge, because it's very doable, isn't it?
Yeah. It is doable. I thought at first I just thought, oh, dog coats. I don't have a dog, so first of all you just think, what's the point? But actually, I've got a cat that thinks it's a dog, and but I think it comes down. It's like in I was thinking about this in again sewing bee, for example. I don't have my own kids. I've never made kids' clothes, but I still threw myself into Kids Week and learnt a ton of stuff. So, and I'm sure there's people out there who would just enjoy the creativity. It's like being at art college. You get
Yes.
sent this great brief. It's
Yeah.
bonkers,
Well, it's going
and
to
it's
make great.
styling,
It's going to make great entertainment for
great
the
entertainment.
general viewer, which we must keep saying. This is what this is
Yes,
marketed at, isn't it? General light entertainment. It's going to be fun,
yes.
and I've been already seeing Instagram clips of other people's dogs watching the screen already. But anyway,
Love it.
let's go through.
Oh,
Let's go through the requirements. They had to make a two-piece outfit. Had to be
yes.
practical and fit. Now, as it's Icons Week, there was the design element rather than just knitting. So rather than just the pattern challenge of the sewing bee, remember that it's kind of amalgamated with the design element in it of made to measure. So they had to link it to an icon that meant something to them or a place too. First time, it had to incorporate knit and crochet. There was no rules where. It could be anywhere. And we were going to see it modelled on two Italian Greyhound dogs, was Dana and Dobby,
Very
which we'll
beautiful
see,
little
I'm
doggies.
sure, at some point.
Oh, so gorgeous.
So the main body, I've got a picture of the task here. There's the knit and crochet, and there's the explanation. Now, I have to admit, take a look at that crochet hook, Lizzie. Do you think that's an AI drawing? I think
Yeah, I'm not
the
really sure about who. This is the only negative, and bearing in mind I've had a lifetime of doing graphics for telly. I'm not quite sure that these and the still from before with the picture of what crochet looks
yeah.
like. I'm just not quite sure they've quite got, and like that one on the left is a bit confusing.
Well, it's got
So
four needles, hasn't it? Why is it?
I know what's going on
And
there.
one looks like it. Yeah,
It's
it's
a
odd.
cast on, and
Well,
it's just not
this is
quite
where I
right, is it?
think they wouldn't have used AI and not had anyone check that. But that hook on the
Oh,
crochet hook, but it
that's
does
just.
sing AI. But let's hope not. Anyway,
Let's hope not.
gloss over that. There we go, everyone. So that's what they had to do. They were going to look specifically at how they went in with the legs and the neck, hopefully not revealing too much, and the rump there. And of course, they had to make a hat, which was going to be great fun to watch. It had to have comfort, security, and style. And as we
I
started to
think
see, it was all about whether the hat would stay on. But look at that. Don't they look cool just from that picture?
they look so great, but what I'm just it's making me laugh. A dog in a balaclava. How do you know that it's comfy for the dog? That I suppose if they look relaxed. I
Yes.
mean, I don't know.
And
It's
just
funny
sit.
though.
I
Again,
think
yeah.
if some of them kept shaking their heads, that was probably a bit uncomfortable. So,
And the,
yeah.
and the hat would fall
Whereas the
off.
balaclava probably just fitted snugly. But
It's
let's
just so
look
funny.
at the finished makes all together, which everyone seemed to appreciate last week, having all the knits together. There they
Oh,
are.
look at those. They're just fabulous. Just so fabulous. I'm
10,
trying to remember
oh,
what
12
everybody.
hours to make these. Amazing.
There's a lot of knitting in there.
And a lot of icons. Did you ever
A
think
lot of
about if you
icons.
were doing this, what would be your icon?
Ooh, I'd probably go something like Vivian Westwood,
Oh, you're way cooler.
or I'd go something like maybe a depends if the dog was male or female,
Okay.
but I'd probably go a bit punk with mine.
I was going to do Kit the car from Knight Rider. I'd have it all black And then the bits, like Tracy's there with Bowie written across the top, I would have just had the red scanner of Kit.
Yeah,
Oh dear.
that's so
But
funny.
aren't they delightful? A mixture of crochet and knit. Anyone there that you want to have a close up look at and we'll have a chat about?
Well, I think, I mean, Holger, just
Yeah. Let's have a look at Holger's.
so, so good. Oh no, that's Elsa. Well,
Yeah.
let's look at Elsa first.
Okay. Elsa, yeah.
So I just really love that. First of all, her idea was brilliant. Just interpreting that famous statue, but because of the traffic cone, and that she's got that humor to have brought it into her make. Um, and then it just looks like a really
Does.
nicely constructed sort of jumper, really,
Yeah.
dog jumper. What does the word on the back say? Can you remember?
It was the name of the dog. It was who did I say?
Ah,
Dobby. Or was it Dana? No, that one was Dana.
Dana,
Yeah.
Dana. Yes,
Um,
okay, okay,
I
I
think
missed
this
that.
is clever design work because she's kept it as simple as possible. Then with that little bit of colour work at the top to do the letters, it
Yeah,
doesn't make it too overbearing, does it? It's not too hard to do. That stocking stitch can be done
yeah.
quite, and I love
It's
the neck, keeping the neck warm because that was going to be a
yeah,
criteria.
it's more, I mean, it's sort of the opposite of what we've had in week one, where there's no sort of, uh, or actually with a lot of the other dog outfits, it's actually a fairly tame,
Yes.
almost like a
Yeah.
jumper design, and then that little crochet traffic cone on top. I sort of wonder if the traffic cone could have been in the same brightness as the lettering
Yeah.
on the back to make it really zing out, but
It would have made
no, I
it
just thought
made it
in
look
the
more
essence of
cohesive,
this
I suppose, and they
cohesive,
loved that
oh, that
word.
word again, there we go.
Oh dear.
But I think for me, it looks like a sort of really self-assured piece of
Yeah.
knitting from Ailsa. And I think the design concept of it, I just thought that is it's so great.
Yeah.
So great.
Well, let's move on to Holger's because for me, as an
Oh,
ex-head of drama, I loved it because he chose Commedia dell'arte, which is a very famous drama period of or technique form of the 18th century that we would teach at high school.
I've never come across it.
Oh
Tell me
yes,
more
because
about
well,
it.
think about Punch and Judy. Our Punch and Judy
Yes.
is a classic character that has come from Commedia dell'arte because Punch was originally called Punchinella. That's the classic Italian name.
Yes.
And it's wonderful because your characters would wear masks and they would be almost big, grotesque masks. And it was
Oh,
very
okay.
flamboyant, very over the top, all completely improvised with a skeleton script and classic stories of good and bad and silliness. You'd have your silly character called Arlecchino, which would have those wonderful diamonds, the diamond outfits and everything.
Yeah.
So I was looking at this going, "Oh, I love this concept." And then I was thinking of the blue, the pink and the white and that stripe idea of, I wonder which character that would have been wearing that. So it sung to
Oh,
me as a drama teacher. And doesn't it
it's
look beautiful, beautiful and
I
flamboyant?
love it. I just felt like it was taking the basic pattern and again a beautiful knit, not throwing the whole kitchen sink at
No,
it, but just with a really great sort of puff sleeve, a
yeah,
puff sleeve on a dog coat. It's just beautiful. And, the ribbing and the sort of almost like a little bonnet, isn't it?
yes, yeah. I would have my pen, but my pen's conked out for some reason, so I
Oh,
can't. I know,
Stuart.
I was well gutted. But look at that. You know me for decreases and shaping. Look at the shaping across the back
Um,
end of that. Can you see that lovely line? Oh, he is
you know
one designer,
what I
isn't
love
he?
about this as well is the idea of knitting a dog coat. If you're I mean, I know there's some very you could take it in a calm sort of way, but I just think for this challenge, this is just really enjoys the
Yeah,
campness of doing that
absolutely.
whole
Yeah.
icons thing. It just has it in spades. Yeah, I just
And the
thought
design of that hat, it fitted the brief
it's
completely, because he must have been thinking
oh,
that, oh, it's going to come off, it's going to come off, how can I design it
he's
to
done
stay
it.
on
He's
the
done
head?
it.
It's just, yeah.
It's really great. Holger, you are. Now, did you know
Go
Holger is on Ravelry as what did Meg tell me? Uh, uh, General Hog
on.
Buffer.
Okay,
And
go and
he's
find
got
him.
some he's just got some fabulous
Oh,
sock patterns on Ravelry. I think they're all free.
oh,
So, but
wow.
yeah, General Hog Buffer.
Got to
You've pulled it out the bag for this
Got to go
one.
and have a look. It's such a talented knitter and designer, and the two are very different. I could knit. There is no way I could design and then knit that. I just don't have it in me. So they are two
So
very good
charming.
skills, aren't they? Knitting and designing.
Yeah, yeah. Design, but the holding, also knowing, I mean, this is really over the top, but actually if you look at it, it's a really neat pink and
Yeah,
white stripe. There's a neat pink rib. It's knowing when enough is
yeah,
enough. And I think that's
yeah.
why it just packs an absolute punch. Well done,
Let's
Holger.
go
Love it.
from a simple clean knit with one type of yarn to tinsel, which is I've got a fondness in my heart for tinsel, King Cole tinsel. If you want
Well,
something bright and snazzy, then get King Cole tinsel. I used to stock it in my shop for Christmas. I'd have the red and the green, but now they've got billions of colours, and
I
it's
have to say, Stu, I think this is where slightly you and I
yeah,
detour around separate sides of the island because I'm really not a fan of the tinselly. I'd like a little tiny bit of glitter
yeah.
here and there, but I'm not. I think this and unicorns really not my bag. But yeah, I think some people will absolutely. This is probably. What do you reckon, viewers? Is this a bit of a Marmite situation on
Absolutely.
Dixie's unicorn? What do you think?
Totally right. And I'm sure we'll get it in the comments that people love it
Yeah,
or hate it. But that's the beauty of knitting. You find the yarn that you like, and two hoots to everyone else. You use
yeah.
what you want to use. And the designer in Dipty went for that, and actually didn't it look a treat? Again, there are judging issues on there was too much neck on show. The whole point was to cover a lot of the neck and keep the neck warm.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any armhole, foot holes there at all. But we'll just ignore that and just take
That whole
appreciation of the tinsel.
oh, it's brilliant. I mean, it's as well, like this is the judging criteria. How can you check in with the dog about whether they find that tinsel a bit scratchy? You
Yes, yeah,
can't. Maybe it's okay. I don't
yeah,
know. But, it's a bit arbitrary, but what a load of fun this one is. If you
absolutely.
saw somebody in the park walking their dog dressed in that,
Oh yeah, it would be brilliant. It would
it
cause a
would raise a
conversation,
smile,
wouldn't it?
definitely.
And
Yeah.
it was lovely to see. I mean, Dipti was overwhelmed with joy, wasn't she? And she we've seen her crying and emotions a lot on the first episode, and it just blossomed this episode, didn't it?
I know, and I think it must have been really nice for her after last week to get a finished thing that was just so joyous and provided a lot of giggles for
Yeah.
everybody. So yeah, who else have we got there? Simon. Now, I was earwigging with the judges talking about Simon's moss
Oh,
stitch,
okay.
about how
I'll go and
I
find
didn't
it. You
realise
keep talking.
that
I'll find it.
moss stitches Diane Sheila was saying is one of the hardest stitches. I didn't know that. It was one of the hardest stitches to get an even tension, but
Yeah, completely agree,
that is
because you're going from knit to pearl so many times and in different aspects above each other, aren't you? So
yeah. I've never, I mean, I don't know. Is this a thing? I'd never come across that
I've
before.
I've not come
Um,
across it, but since they've said it, I can understand how
I can
and
understand
why.
why, and it depends as well if you're used to knitting in the round and a lot of knit stitches, whereas if 'cause I grew up knitting flat, so knit,
Yeah,
pearl. So swapping between the two, I don't know. Is it a
Yeah.
thing? What do we think? Anyway, this, what was the icon here? Remind
It
me.
was cathedral. He liked Gothic architecture, and so he
Oh,
liked the idea of texture and stonework. And I have to say, as a designer, if you forget the crochet archway piece on the
stained
top,
glass window.
it was
Oh, yeah.
beautiful because I love a bit of
Yeah.
texture. The texture on that is phenomenal from a knit point of view. Going from the stocking stitch, there's a
Little
row of
bit of
something.
cabling.
Then there's the moss. Then there's the cabling the neck. That's exquisite. That would have taken a long while.
Yes, and it's quite a bit serious, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, it's still funny because of the hat, probably, but it's a bit more of a, we're not talking unicorns
yeah,
or
or kit the car.
um,
Yeah,
but
indeed.
it's really it's sort of it does make you want to
Yeah.
look, which is really good, I think. So
And clearly,
I just
Simon's not much of a crocheter. He did say that, didn't he? So that really challenged him because they were looking for knitters, weren't they? And this is where we
yeah.
have to see and ignore that strapline of Britain's best knitter. I think we've just got to understand and assume crochet is embedded in there because they're testing crochet skills as well. So, but he did admit he's not done much crochet.
Although if we flip to Meadow, poor old
Yeah.
Meadow, this did make me question when I mean it does it does look very sweet, doesn't it? But um she was twisting her stitches and she
Oh
didn't
yes.
realize that she was doing
Yeah.
that wrong
Yeah.
until the judges pointed that out. Um, and she said, "Oh, I haven't done much knitting," and I that was the question for me. Well, how have they been recruiting
Yeah.
people for a knitting show, Britain's Best Knitter? So, and I'm sure lots of people will have questions about that,
Yeah.
but
But
we can't get to the
no.
bottom of that. You just have to park
Yeah,
that,
you do,
really.
and we've said that before. You have to understand the producers are making a show. They've got to
Yeah,
get different people to make it interesting for the general public that are watching it. So they'll need
yeah.
different types of people and backgrounds. And I think, yes, you're right. We just have to park that and just move on.
I know with my cohort for the B, and I won't name any names, but there were some people that had never done bias binding, some people had never done a French seam, and I was a bit shocked about that. Um, because I just thought, oh, I thought we were, I thought we were all supposed to know everything,
Yeah,
but I think it's also about what sort of attitude you're going to bring to the room, what energy you've got to throw yourself into challenges and how you play as a team. Well, so many things they're considering about how they select people. So,
okay.
yeah, anyway.
Now, this is the bit that I still have just a little grudge. All right. You know
Go
me,
on
Mr.
then.
Positivity. But we finish this and we see these lovely knits. And it's just done. It's just parked and forgotten about. And we go to an
Yeah.
ad break. I still need a rank. And I don't know how it's done. Someone raised a good point about doing the RuPaul style of saying who perhaps weren't so good and the bottom and who was the best. I just can't see how you can have this where we're looking at all these individual ones and not tell us who is the
Leave it
best and give
dangling.
them a round of applause just to say you and
Yeah.
you are in the top two, yay, well done, and then see them
Yeah,
go off
yeah,
for their
yeah.
little coffee or their little break and then we go to an ad break.
Yes,
It just doesn't
yes.
sit right with
Yeah,
me. What about you?
I know, and I agree. And I think, I mean, it's sort of we go into the ad break with a fairly good hunch of who the
Yeah.
stronger ones have been. But I think if it was following the format of these very successful shows, you'd at least get the RuPaul. You'd have, or like Strictly, you'd have the clear favorites, and then you'd have a dance off, or you'd have
Yeah.
a knit off, or or people who, when they did that bit when they was it before just before they did the final announcement, and they were sitting around the table. Tom. Sheila die sitting around the
Oh
table, who's in
yes, yeah,
contention,
yeah.
who, and all that. But it would be helpful to get a bit more of that through the show. Like,
I just
yeah,
felt there was no praise or sum up to finish this. That's that challenge done. Well done, everyone. You've worked. It just I think I need that, and I don't. Is that me because of the teacher in me, and because I've done Unpicked with the sewing bee, and we're used to that format? Do the general public actually care? Did they even notice that it was just done and moved on? That would be something interesting, I think.
I think judging because reading through the comments from last week, I think a lot of people would actually quite appreciate ranking just to get a sense of what the judges actually
Yeah,
think. Because now this is something that I picked up from watching Gordon's YouTube. He was saying how they have to edit so much out. And actually, each contestant had quite a lot of time with the judges. And he said they're genuinely the loveliest people he's ever met. And I'm sure there would be an awful lot of technical chat and
yeah,
help.
yeah.
And we didn't have any of
No,
that. So not only are we not getting much of the technical insight, those of us who want a bit more of that, but we're not really getting a sense of the judge's
yeah,
appraisal of what makes it good or bad, apart from the very subjective, oh, I like those colours, oh, that's a nice stitch sort of thing.
yeah,
So I think actually maybe we can hold out for a bit more of that in the edit as the weeks go on.
yeah.
But it's at the moment it feels a bit
It
thin,
does.
doesn't
It
it? But
does.
I think I get the impression and from what I know myself from how it works, you spend a long time with the judges when it's your turn to be judged, and there's so much chat. And it might come down to maybe 20 seconds if you're
Oh,
lucky. So
yeah.
it's really not much.
No.
So I think, yeah,
Maybe.
it would be nice to get a bit more of that
And
sense of,
indeed, and maybe if the series is renewed and there is another year, maybe they'll, as the sewing bee has over the however many years it's been going, they'll tweak it and change the format and just make little
yeah.
tweaks to transform. But I think I know I need that. But maybe it's just one of those things. I'll get over it, as they say. Right.
But I think you don't, I would say, let's hold out for a
Yeah.
bit more info and a bit more of an informed judgment, because that would be nice, wouldn't
Wouldn't
it?
it just? But if we're looking at that rank order, we got the impression that Holger was, well, because she cried over it, didn't she? was
Holger. Oh, yes.
Holger's was probably the
Yeah.
best there out of those.
It's
But
so beautifully finished
yes,
as well,
yeah.
isn't it?
But so many different
Yeah.
techniques. I loved Stephanie's, and I loved,
Tracy's David Bowie
yeah,
kind of
the
red.
pom pom on
It's
Tracy. That was
just so
brilliant.
fab.
Meadows' crown, because that was beautiful crochet.
Oh,
Lydia's
yeah.
fan work of her
They
lace
loved that, didn't
work.
they? Yeah, her lace work on the stitching.
So many things to talk about there. But there we go. So let's park that and then move into the big knit. Oh, look, and you're showing your mohair now. Look, you got it on.
It's not really not mohair in the 80s style, this
No,
one.
this is kind of what the current craze is. I say current. It feels like it's been the last year and a half with mohair in knitting. One strand, two strands. How many strands of mohair on that?
Well, this is a 4 ply with one strand of lace mohair.
Oh,
But
lovely.
yeah, I've seen some really. Actually, I did a crochet, multicolored crochet cardigan maybe a year or so ago, and that was about 3 strands, 3 strands and a very chunky hook.
Because
It's great fun.
we're talking, the mohair that they were given was the mohair that is seen a lot in the shops. It's kind of like a lace weight. It's a very fine yarn with all that fluff mohair coming off
Were
it.
they, was theirs wasn't a lace weight, was it? Or did they have
It was
what?
probably Kid Silk Haze, that kind of
Oh,
classic Rowan or Wool and the Gang. I don't know which brand it
I
was.
think
Did
it was a slightly, it wasn't, I don't know if it was lace. I kind of need to go back and watch
What
it
do they?
again. I thought
It well,
it's quite
it's.
chunky,
Oh, was it? No, I don't think it was that thick.
wasn't it?
No, they weren't on chunky needles.
Oh, maybe I'll have to go back and have not
Well,
chunky chunky, but
no.
like maybe a 5 or 6 mil.
Oh, they might have done. Yeah. I wonder how.
Have
Yeah,
to go
so
and
because
have a look.
it looked a bit more open. It wasn't a tight
Yes.
knit,
No,
was
it wasn't a
it?
tight knit.
They had to turn over my page. They were in 3 teams of 3, and they had to make an iconic 80s jumper. They were given an actual original pattern,
So good with the little bat wing there going on.
and I snuck a picture of it. There we are. So it is
Very good.
straight up,
Yes.
front and back, and then your sleeve set in. So it is a very simple pattern, very little shaping. So that's going to be easier to do, isn't it?
Whip it up.
They were looking for motifs and patterns to be used, but there was a requirement of using intarsia. How are you with intarsia? Have you used intarsia before?
I have, yeah. I've done a few different things now. Um,
How can you explain it to the viewers so we,
oh,
we can
okay. So,
understand?
well, it's so if we think it's not Fair Isle, um, but we saw last week that the contestants were using different colour strands in the same row of knitting. So with Intarsia, it's if you like the balloons, for example, on the one of the team's jumpers, you just switch in your colour. So you're doing a block in a different colour, and you have a colour chart to follow that tells you the stitch count to get that shape. So yeah, you're basically using 2 strands as you go round.
Yeah.
Two,
It's
two, yeah,
it's as you rightly say, it's that block look. So you then don't have to worry about stranding it later on because it is just exists on its own,
yeah,
doesn't it? I remember it from old school knits. Say you're like creating a jumper with Thomas the Tank Engine on the front,
yes,
and you've got this lump of grey in the middle. You wouldn't carry the grey here and the grey there. You would just change colour to the grey. So you've
yes,
potentially got lots of bobbins hanging on the
yeah.
back side. How many colour?
I
Have you?
haven't done loads of I haven't done loads of
Yeah,
pictorial, I haven't done a lot. So I'm more color block,
yeah,
as
yeah.
you can see. That's more my
And
kind of,
when
yeah,
we look at the designs, this is where I think the designer in Holga actually got the right idea for Intarsia, because let's go
yeah,
to it. Here are the concepts. You've got classic, like I was just explaining, Thomas the Tank Engine with one team, Stephanie, Ailsa, and Meadow, with this guitar on the front. Then you've got the middle team, Holger, Liddy, and Tracy, with an intarsia that is just easier and manageable. Straight
yeah, yeah,
lines, like you were
yeah,
saying, a colour block. And then we've got Simon, Isaac, and Dipti with the balloons, again, colour block, but rounded edges. That's going to be harder to do too, because you're
yeah,
talking with lines, so you've got to work out the staggering, haven't you?
yeah. Well, also, now then, I think looking at I'm just speculating, but I wonder if looking at the final uh, result of that third team's jumper with the balloons,
Yeah,
did they draw out their colour chart on a square grid or a knitter's grid, which is
yeah,
rectangles, not
good
squares?
point.
Because I did look at them and think, are they squashed, or is that just that they didn't block it, or who knows? But I just wondered, I was just curious about that. I'd like to see a bit more. How do they do the design, kind of,
Yeah.
how do they convert their design idea to a technical knitting pattern? That would be quite nice to
Would
see, wouldn't it?
shall we see the finished knits? So these are the concepts. This is what they
Yeah,
had in mind, and the finished groups there. They're not in the same position. I wasn't that clever, sadly. So there you've got the balloons on the left, the guitar intarsia in the middle, and then the. I just feel like that should be Elaine Page wearing that checkerboard, don't you think?
yes.
It was just
Definitely,
so that
yeah.
Barbara Dixon and I Know Him So Well
Barbara Dixon.
number.
Who was the I think we're alone now.
Oh
Tiffany.
yes. What
That
was
was a
it?
I think we're alone now.
I want to say Tiffany. Is
Tiffany.
it Tiffany?
Tiffany,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Tiffany. Now then,
Go on.
Stuart, correct me if I'm wrong, but the balloons one was only ever intended to have a short sleeve on
Yeah,
the left.
yeah,
We know the middle one, they had some, so the music one, we know they had some problems because they got a little bit mixed up with their sleeve decreases.
yeah.
The checkerboard one, what happened to the other sleeve on that?
So both teams realised quite soon on in that the person doing the sleeves, and let's go to the concepts, the
Yes.
person doing the sleeves was never going to finish. So
Okay.
the guitar team and the Holger's team, the checkerboard, just realised that. And they both had the similar conversations, didn't they? Now, the guitar team realised quite soon into the project and changed. It came across in the edit that Holger's team was a last minute thing. They were really struggling to get it. So hence Holger's team going. It was Lydia going. Let's just sack off one of the sleeves,
Okay.
and
Asymmetric's okay,
yeah,
but yeah.
and that's inspired because, as we always said with the sewing bee, finish your garment, didn't we? You just want to finish it.
Which I very rarely did.
And
Oh
and
dear.
this was great idea. That's the easiest thing to get rid of. But I
Yeah.
have to say, getting rid of it and putting that bow on, I was ingenious.
I know. Well, I think there's a bit of me that almost prefers it like that.
Yeah,
I do. It did make me just think, but hang on a sec. So, not one of those jumpers has two sleeves. So, what's going on? There's a problem with the brief there,
yeah,
because no team had enough time to finish a sleeve. So, anyway, having said that, they all came up with some sort of compromise.
yeah,
I know that the guitar team, Ailsa and Meadow, there was a sort of slightly sore crunch point where they realized that they were both doing the
yeah.
wrong decreases or something.
Well, they'd adapted their pattern to that. This is where it was early in the design to get rid of a sleeve. So therefore, they knew they were going to have this off the shoulder thing. So Ailsa's
Yes.
went that way on her side, and then Meadows went that way. Okay, so they weren't going to match when you put them together. They
Yeah.
so, and I felt
Oh,
for them because that's great. They've obviously adapted their pattern, but then
yeah.
in the heat and the stress of it, they've just missed that. So I can totally see how that happened.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just, yeah, that I did really feel for them. Meadow had that sort of she she had the sort of coach Tom on her case, didn't she? When he pulled her aside, where she had to step out of the room
Yeah,
and have a breather,
yeah.
and Tom, it's like Tom started talking to her about his
I
diving
know. That's
moment,
right.
and I think she looking a bit sort of like,
Awkward. That's right.
but he was very sweet. He was
Yeah.
picking her up and trying to encourage her, and that was nice to get a
It
little
it
glimpse of that. But
reminded me of those reality shows. Was it slightly forced, or did the producer suddenly think, "Oh, we could have a little moment here"? Maybe, but it was still nice because it is still about supporting the knitters too, and she is
I
young, isn't
felt
she?
like I felt like it was a bit forced. The camera was way too close. It's
Yeah,
like Tom was, shit,
yeah,
I've got to deliver some words of
yeah,
wisdom. Whereas if I don't know how, I'm not the director, so I don't know how they could have done it better. Overall, there's Meadow. T take a deep breath,
yeah.
get back in there. Yeah, bless them.
And look at that Intarsia. Intarsia is so hard. With all those curves and everything, I still think that is incredible for someone who has not knitted much. someone who knits twisted because that's just the way they've learned, and then they go and create that.
Was she
It's
did
full
Meadow do
respect.
the did she do the shoulder
She did the
thing?
guitar, the front there. That's
Meadow
what.
did the guitar.
Yeah, yeah, it's all Meadow.
I thought Stephanie did that.
No, no, Stephanie was. Let's go back. Stephanie was sleeves. Yeah, Stephanie was sleeves.
Oh,
Ailsa was the back, the musical notes on the back. But yeah,
oh my
Meadow.
word.
That's why I think it's ingenious what she achieved
Wow. Okay.
in
Yeah.
that time.
Okay.
And
Bless
Intarsia,
her.
you've got to make sure. Do you know? I just suddenly realised. You know the show I do with Carol on the Sewing Bee for the skill show. We need to do a skill show for Unravelled, don't we? For Game of
Yeah.
Wool, and talk
Well,
about
yeah.
Intarsia because Intarsia you do have to twist your yarns before you start the next colour, don't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And Meadow
Yeah.
didn't do that, so she had a few holes, but still, I
Oh.
still think that's amazing.
To be honest, though, Stuart, I just think with every episode, I can see. So I wonder if there's a lot of people like me out there who have knitted for some time, and if you've grown up with it and you make a lot of stuff up, you just figure stuff out on the hoof, especially if you have been knitting a lot of years
Yeah,
before YouTube was a thing. I mean, can
absolutely
we
right.
remember those days? But there's every week there's going to be something, a technique for me to go and
Yeah,
look at more at to just think, well, I've always just busked it and made it up. Maybe I could go and learn if there's a more official technique to be put to practice here. But or yeah, I think this is where the show is really going to fly because it'll help us to
yeah,
go and learn and deepen our knowledge.
too right. I still can't keep looking at that without. Wasn't it good? Or what you doing? I think we're alone.
Think we're alone now.
It's
It's
just
just
brilliant.
this for me is absolute peachy pastel classic 80s black
Absolutely.
and white
Yeah.
with the pastel colors. It's got the big sort of off the shoulder, a big froofy bow, and that chunkiness of the
Yeah.
mohair. I just think with a
Well,
big side
I can
ponytail.
see Alexis walking down in her flat in Dynasty with this, can't you?
Oh yeah, with a pair of
Yes. Having a go at Crystal. Don't you tell me what to do.
with a pair of um, high
Oh,
stiletto pixie boots.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I remember my mum's pixie boots.
Oh my word, I had little white stilettos when I was a teenager.
Oh, and let's finish off with the balloons. I have to say, I love the embellishments, right? Embellishments is everything. Tracy, which team was Tracy on? Let's go back to the concepts. Oh, yeah, well, Tracy, it was the whole thing. Oh, all those awkward moments on the settee with Tracy,
Oh
Lydia.
yeah, trying to get a sequin in
I
there.
know. I've even written it down. Holger was saying, less is more. And Tracy went, yeah, and more is more. Definitely. Good on you, Tracy. You hull
That's
some
funny.
on. But when you look at that, and I think those embellishments there, very clever for the ribbon on that sleeve and using the mohair for the balloons, actually
Yes,
works
but
well.
well, I think I thought with this sort of stringy balloony thing, if they're using ribbon on the sleeve, it would have been more effective, I think, to use ribbon on the balloons as
Agree.
well. Apart from the fact that it's give that 5 minutes of wear and it's just going to end up in a bit of a dreadlock, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, we know what happens with
But, you
mohair.
know,
Yeah,
it's the cohesive thing again, isn't it?
yeah.
Coming back to a cohesive, well-rounded design where each of the parts is made by somebody else, but it all connects, it all ties together. So,
But
but it's a great fun sort of,
yeah,
it's a fun
I
piece.
can see that. I'm just now remembering when I used to go up to the city and shop as an 80s kid in 1988. I could well imagine seeing that in C&A as I walked through the doors.
It's so funny you should say that because last night
Go on.
I just had this flashback. I was watching Riot Women and one of the main characters was wearing this jacket with a C and A rainbow sort of
Oh,
thing, and I thought,
yes.
oh bloody hell, C and sorry, excuse my French, um, uh, CNA, and I looked up CNA, and it's not, what I was wanting to see was that sort of fluted logo with
Yeah.
CNA and a bit of a rainbow, but there's none of that these days. No, it's nothing like that.
Oh, the
But
memories.
look, did you see the shoulder pads? I think we haven't mentioned the
Oh,
shoulder
let's go
pads in
back. No, we
Unravelled.
haven't mentioned them. That was
Because
ingenious work.
Dipti was saying, "Oh, I've
Yeah.
never knitted shoulder
And
pads
that,
before, but that's a
right.
good little effect there. Good
Yeah.
80s shoulder pad. I had some corking shoulder pads in the 80s. Oh, I had
Oh,
I had silk shirts with shoulder pads in. It was
oh,
just
wow.
extraordinary.
I, I,
Well,
I put a message on our YouTube chat saying, as we're doing 80s week and mohair, I'd love some of your pictures of you in your 80s. Did I get any? They're like, you grumpy lot, you lot. No one sent me any pictures. Like, come on, let's have a bit of fun. But let us know in the
yeah.
comments your memories of the 80s and what shops you'd like to go to. What was the other one? Dorothy Perkins? Why am I
Oh,
saying ladies' shops?
Dotty Peas. Dotty
Right,
Peas is
we're
in
coming up
there.
to the top of the hour. Let's finish off. Big knitter of the week. Was it a surprise?
No.
Not at all.
Hey,
Very
Holger.
well deserved. Stunning
Really
knitting,
good.
stunning design work. Wonderful.
Congratulations,
Indeed.
General Hog Buffer.
And Commedia dell'arte, I just loved that. It's taken me right back. I'm going to have to get my books out, Holger, and look at all the characters. I
Yeah, well,
always
I've
liked
learned it.
Il Dottore or Il Capitano, I liked.
So what was that? Commedia dell'arte, did you say?
Yes, it's basically comedy of art. It's all comedy. It was all slapstick. It's a very, very early intro to slapstick and silly humour and stock
Okay,
characters that would reappear and appear. And
brilliant.
the British version of Punchinella turned into Punch and Judy. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Hence those red and white
Okay.
stripes, but he had pink and white.
I love just one final note on Holger's delightful dog
Yeah,
outfit is he looks so serious, but that's where his
yeah.
personality is just coming out in that knitting. And I for one want a front seat as this series goes on.
Absolutely. Who was cast off? It looked in the edit as they were talking about it, looked like it was going to be
Yeah.
Meadow, and it was. Sorry to
Dear
see you go,
Meadow.
Meadow.
Oh,
I know.
bless her. Yeah, that was a tough week, and I think she'll her closing exit speech was really great, wasn't it? Because she said that she's got loads of ideas and she's inspired for the future, so she's not leaving under a cloud at all. And I'm sure she's got a very bright future ahead of her.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, there we are. That was 80s week done. Can you believe that?
80s week.
Icon week. Do you know what we've got next week?
No.
Swimwear.
Oh yeah. Oh my word. Oh my
I.
goodness.
It obviously had to be in there because
Yes.
of Tom.
Great.
No one crochets or knits swimwear. It's just not going to work, is it? But I think we can just appreciate it and have a giggle and maybe see some hot totty next week.
Maybe a few budgie smugglers.
Yeah, on the preview there was already I noticed a hottie there. I was like, oh, I think
Oh, crikey.
we'll enjoy
No,
next.
just steady on. Calm down, Stuart. I think I'm just hoping they don't have, they don't choose an itchy yarn. There might be all sorts of
We need
problems.
something soft and slippery, like a nice bamboo maybe, or a cotton.
Bamboo. They'll just instantly droop the moment water hits it.
Oh, it's been an utter pleasure. See, this our laughing. This is what we're doing as we're watching. Very much
Yeah,
giggling at the puns, rolling our eyes, and then all the awkward moments on the settee. It is fun. Very fun entertainment.
yeah,
We look
good.
forward to getting more of your comments. We've got more prizes to give away. We've got mohair to give away next week from
Oh,
Katia.
lovely.
So if you're loving some mohair and some more goodies, someone else will get a Katia goodie bag. And also, before we finish, let's just remind people, shop local. Find your local yarn shop. Okay, avoid those big online brands that are pumping out all their commercialness, hey? Wouldn't you say, Lizzie?
Yeah, definitely. Support your local store. And yeah. Stuart,
Yeah.
one more
Go
thing.
on.
We haven't told the viewers what we're wearing.
No, come on, let's...
What's your knit this week?
So, I've actually got a crochet on. Yeah.
Very good.
This is a crochet that my friend Colin made for me. Remember I've talked to you about Colin before?
Yes. Colin, who made the daisy.
That's it, yeah. A retired gentleman that lives in the village who is not watching Game of War. It's not not his thing. But when I go round his once a month, I'm going round his this Thursday, we like to watch the catwalks to see what they're all producing. Dolce & Gabbana, Dior, Chanel. Well, this was a Dolce & Gabbana inspired crochet. We saw it on the catwalk a couple of years ago, and I went to Colin, oh, I love that crochet cardigan. And he went, I'll rip it off for you. And he did. How cool is that?
Colin,
I know.
what a legend.
So I can't even offer the pattern because he crocheted it for me. Look.
Look at it.
And Dolce & Gabbana, they modelled it with a white vest on underneath. So I thought, well, I'll do that. So that's what I'm wearing.
You're channeling runway style.
Indeed. What about you, Lizzie? What are you wearing?
I, on the other hand, am channeling seaside style.
Yeah.
I've got I'm pretty sure it's the Tilde by Orlande Souchet.
Oh.
Orlande.
Okay.
Can't remember, but I can forward you the link so we can put it. But it's oh gosh, it's so lovely to knit. It's knitted neck down, and as you just create this part and you see this pattern appear, it's just so yummy. But I've got to show you.
Yeah, let's look at your colours because you're on point there with your branding.
Colours, I figured out my own colour block.
Oh, did you?
But look at this underneath. It's got this faux seam.
That detail.
But then also look at this. For the rib, it's got this little sort of checkerboard rib.
Oh my God, I love it.
And it's so yum. And then I know you like a decrease.
Yes, I do. I love it on the raglan.
It's such a nice pattern, honestly. And I took quite some time working with. I went into No Frills way before I worked there, and they were so brilliant at helping me figure out the colour combos to get exactly the right pop that I wanted with
I love
this.
it. That orange. That orange and pink, it's us, it's you, Lizzie. It's beautiful.
Yeah, look at all my hang on, where is it?
See, this is what it is. We get to talk knitting, we get to share patterns, and we get to have a giggle too. Absolutely brilliant. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, Lizzie. Thanks for your time, and we'll see viewers next week for our
more chat.
3 and swimwear.
It's fabulous, can't wait. Thanks
Cheers.
so much.
Bye.
Bye.